I'm going to go ahead and start this video with an introduction. My name is Nikolas P. Robinson. I am a horror author, a poet, a photographer, and a news producer working in Portland, Oregon. I've been living in Southwest Washington for the last couple of years, and many of you may not know who I am, beyond just a face on the screen or a social media account, so I thought that introduction might be in order. That way you'll have a better idea of who I am. So, in 2021, I assembled a collection of 10 short stories, and that short story collection ended up getting me a Splatterpunk Award-nomination. Splatterpunk Awards are for extreme horror and splatterpunk subgenres, so more transgressive subgenre of horror. It also got me nominated for a 6E Award, or a 666 Award, through Godless. It did win that award. It did not win the Splatterpunk, of course. This is the collection in question. It is Cause Unexplained Ocular Bleeding. This fantastic, eye-catching cover art was put together by Drew Stepik, the individual behind Godless. He's been an ardent supporter of indie horror and transgressive fiction in general. I definitely recommend going to www.godless.com. Digital copies of all sorts of fantastic, lesser-known horror is available there. I would talk about this because I decided that I'd like to go ahead and share one of the stories from this. This is the shortest story that's in this collection. Plenty of people have told me that I should narrate some of my work based on the poetry that I read and share with you. I figure I'll give it a shot this time. I did narrate a short story for Godless to share on their YouTube account a couple of years ago, but that was the extent of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share a story called Wake Up. You wake up. You're not sure why you're awake, but you know you don't want to be. You debate it for a couple of minutes after studying your breathing in hope that you'll fall asleep again without effort, but you open your eyes. You still lie on your right side, facing the wall opposite the picture window. The quality of the light against the bedroom wall could mean you just barely fell asleep an hour or two ago, or that it's almost time to wake up. It's difficult to tell, at least without looking at your phone, but you don't want to do that. Based on how you feel, you're pretty sure you've only just fallen asleep. On the other side of the large mattress, your partner slides against the bed and shifts themselves around. You continue breathing as calmly and deeply as you can, not wanting them to know you're awake. Maintain the illusion. You can almost feel it. Your partner's eyes caressing your back. At this point, they're either glaring daggers into you, or more than likely, plaintively staring at you with mixed love and sadness. You'd been fighting about your infidelity before going to bed. There was hurt and recrimination in that fight, but there was also a faint hint of reconciliation. Your partner breathes heavily, the sound of it strange, and you're pretty sure you might have started to fall asleep again. The breath sounded as if it had been coming through a mask of some kind. You don't want them to know you're awake, so you persist in feigning sleep. You don't want to talk about cheating. You don't want to talk about your distraction. You don't want to talk about the way that distraction looks at you or touches you, or how they make you feel. All of those things are irrelevant, since, as you know, they are ultimately just a distraction. You'll move past this, you and your partner. It may take some time, but you'll get there. You feel your partner's fingertips brush against your shoulder, only slightly, a light tenderness. Those fingers soon run down the side of your back and come to a rest on your hip. You wonder if they might lean closer and move those fingers forward, to touch you in intimate ways, and excite you, to wake you from your illusory slumber. The fingers detach, and you feel your partner shift back to the previous position. You're certain you've almost found your way back to blessed unconsciousness. when you feel rhythmic gyrations faintly transferred across the memory foam of the mattress. It feels like friction, like something being tugged at or massaged. Is your partner masturbating? It feels as if they might be, and there's a slight hint of almost bated breath there in the room. It seems weird, but they can do what they like. You just want to sleep. You won't be lured into joining them and dispelling the fiction that you've been sleeping. You wake up. You're not sure why you're awake, but you suspect it might be morning. You feel as if you've succeeded in getting some rest. You tentatively open your eyes. The light doesn't look so different from the last time your eyes were open, but you can tell there's a difference. It's morning. The smell of blood, shit, and piss assaults you as you draw in your first morning breath. It takes you a couple of moments to recognize the odors for what they are, unexpected and out of the ordinary as they happen to be. You roll over, and bile scorches the back of your throat, while bits of last night's dinner find their way to your tonsils. The formerly pastel colors of your bedding are a deep crimson, so close to being black. The wetness glistens in the morning light, intruding through the window. Your lover stares at you, with empty cavities where eyes once were, and a gaping mouth reveals a severed tongue. Atop the blankets, as they are, you clearly see the jagged wound from sternum to pelvis, and you think for a second that someone has tried to roll up the bedding and stuff it into your partner's abdomen. That's not it, though. Nothing's been shoved into the space beneath their ribs. Something's been removed. As you lift yourself to a half-seated position, you see intestines strung from the bed to the nightstand, from the nightstand to the window seat, from the window seat to the dresser. They get thicker as you follow the trail. Draped across the corner of the dresser, hanging casually above a pile of liquid shit, is the end of the line. You haven't seen an anatomy textbook in years, but you're absolutely certain you're seeing your partner's rectum, dangling in the air, suspended above the floor, a dozen feet away from where it should be. You had no idea there was so much of it coiled up inside. Small lacerations along the tube of tissue have released splashes of the contents here and there. Has it been milked of its contents? You think these are relevant thoughts, these irreverent thoughts, in a desperate attempt to keep yourself disengaged from what you're witnessing. You can only outpace the panic for so long. The smell only seems to get worse. The longer you sit there, you slap yourself painfully across your right cheek, hoping to prove to yourself that you aren't really awake. You are awake. You might never sleep again. Alright, that was Wake Up from Cause Unexplained Ocular Bleeding by yours truly, Nikolas P. Robinson. If you like that, there are a number of other stories available. The 9 stories that are in this collection, of course. I also have a handful of short stories available on the Godless platform, or that have been published in other locations. I also have novels, novellas, multiple titles available. I would definitely love to hear what you think if you check out more of my work, and I'd like to hear what you think about Wake Up. So, again, this has been Nikolas P. Robinson, and taking a cue from a TikTok account I follow, the fit for today has been Godless, Gutterfuck, a t-shirt available through the Godless web store.